I don't know who needs to hear this, but you aren't your feelings. Feelings are part of how we're made in God's image. Feelings are important indicators that you need to pay attention to, but they don't dictate your life. They are terrible GPS signals. They are terrible for leading you. In fact, the Bible tells us in Jeremiah 17:9 that the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? That is not something that we should follow. In fact, follow your heart is some of the worst advice that has destroyed more families, more marriages, more children's lives than anything else. As a Christian, I'm not called to follow my feelings. I'm called to follow God. I'm called to follow His word. I'm Rachel, the co-founder of Turnaround Marriage and Christian Transformational Marriage Coach. My husband Scott and I have walked with hundreds and hundreds of Christians inside of our Turnaround Marriage program and helped them go from crisis to closeness quickly. If your feelings have been telling you that you're resentful, that you're falling out of love with your husband, I want to challenge that. This is a warning light that you need to pay attention to, but it's not a GPS signal that you need to follow. You aren't your feelings. You are so much more than your feelings. For instance, if you say, I'm resentful, I'm falling out of love with my husband, that is like declaring that is who you are, not how you're feeling today. Does that make sense? It's becoming part of your identity to say, I'm resentful, I'm angry, I'm bitter. I'm resentful is different than I'm feeling resentment right now, and I need to do something about that. It may seem nitpicky, but in a day and age where our culture celebrates feelings as part of your identity, follows those feelings to their end, we must understand that we are not our feelings. We just feel our feelings. They are important, but they aren't good for leading us. They're there to get us to pay attention. By the way, feelings change. We can cultivate something other than resentment, something other than hurt, bitterness. When you can learn to lean into the feeling and actually just feel it, pay attention to it, notice it, name it, and then learn to take your thoughts captive and break down those false beliefs that are lies from the enemy that are telling you nothing will change. That's just how he is. That's just who you are now. Well, your feelings must be valid and true. You must follow your heart. You need to be happy. When you can learn to take those thoughts captive and replace them with what is true, and when you can learn to write a new story about what's happened and what that means, and when you can take charge and cultivate something different in your heart, everything can change. If you've been led by your feelings, or maybe you've been stuffing them for so long, or maybe you've been letting those feelings lead the way, but you don't want to keep feeling that way. You want to do something about it and cultivate something different in your heart, and you want to transform your marriage. I want to encourage you to check out our free masterclass, the 5 simple shifts Christian couples can make to completely turn their marriage around and fall back in love again. The reality is you can feel love again for your spouse. Love is more than just a feeling. It is an action. It is a behavior. And God can change our hearts. That is the beautiful promise. That is what He does. That's what He's in the business of doing. So you can check out that free masterclass at turnaroundmarriage.live or check out the link in the bio.